Well, welcome everybody on this, what I like to call Friday Eve. It's that Thursday good feeling, knowing that the weekend's almost here. I'm going to go ahead and get started with this ClinicSource CSInsights webinar. I'm glad to have everybody on here to join with me. Once again, my name is Leo. If you guys have talked about any type of ClinicSource add-ons, you definitely have talked to me about it. So yeah, the purpose here of this webinar is to learn about CSInsights. It's basically that analytics performance dashboard available within ClinicSource to understand the health of your practice in terms of revenue, appointments, and many other things. We'll definitely go over those widgets with you. Once again, my name is Leo. I am your presenter here today. I've been with ClinicSource for 4 years now. I'm in San Diego, California, but if you look outside right now, I don't know how many of you are tuned in with the weather, but it has not felt like San Diego, California for the past few months. It's been a ton of rain, as we are getting this morning here in San Diego. Hopefully we get the sunny part of it here pretty soon. I am the expert in any type of additional services within ClinicSource. So if you wanted to talk about billing electronically through ClinicSource, if you wanted to talk about telehealth services through ClinicSource, as well as CSInsights, which is the analytics dashboard that we're going to go over with you, I am your guy for all of those things. And interesting fact about myself would be that I'm actually a credentialed NFL media analyst. So when it comes to these analytic dashboards, that's something that I relate to pretty well, because as a credentialed NFL media analyst, what do? When it comes to these sports, I look at a lot of stats. I look at a lot of data. How many yards is the quarterback passing per game? What's the running back's efficiency running the ball in between the tackles, outside the tackles, as well as the defense, how many yards they get. So any type of stats with those NFL, I focus on those thoroughly, and that's what helps out with CSInsights. It's a lot of stats. It's a lot of things to understand. But the best thing about CSInsights is it can make those numbers look crystal clear with the graphing that we have. And my partner with this is going to be Steven. He's obviously the senior training specialist. He's been with ClinicSource double the amount of time I have with being 8 years. Now, if you've done any part of the onboarding process with ClinicSource, you have definitely talked with Steven. He is absolutely training expert, and the thing with Steven, he still trains me. There's questions that I have that I get asked that I've never been asked before, and Steven's my go-to guy with that. He's excellent in his craft and what he does. Even though he is in the state of Florida, I'm just kidding. He's a little more used to this rain that we are getting that San Diegans are not. And the interesting fact with Steven is he did something that I could never really personally do, even though I would try, but I would fail. My wife would let me know I failed, is that he designed and built his home and in-ground pool. So that's something amazing. Yeah, he's definitely your guy in terms of learning anything with ClinicSource. So once again, today's agenda is going to be, what is CSInsights? Learning about that dashboard, what the graphs and reports are available, what you can see, what you can learn, what could become crystal clear like I talked about, and what can you do with that information? How can it help you? I guess that's the most important part, is how can CSInsights help your practice from a day-to-day basis? So here's a little teaser image here for you. If you have not seen CSInsights before, that's where you're able to get your fingertips on all the data that you need to go ahead and run your practice, and you could just have that data on one screen. That's what makes it beautiful about CSInsights. You don't have to go click through multiple services to go ahead and find the health of your practice, and that's the beauty. As you see there, real-time data. That is true. If you were to be able to create an appointment inside ClinicSource and then you click into CSInsights, it's there. And that's the beauty of the inside data. There's 13 graphs to choose from. All 13 are right there on your right-hand side. as well as you could change the display to compare time periods. So if you wanted fall looking colors, I guess right now I would get rainy weather looking colors. I can go ahead and do that with CSInsights, basically whatever helps you see this in a clearer picture. So once again, you do have that ability to customize it to your preference, to where there is 6 different color skins here that you could go ahead and choose from. That's something that I like to do myself. If anytime we have options in life, that makes things beautiful. And you do have those options to go ahead and choose from what your screen could look like with CSInsights. And once again, did a great job with the teaser images here. So you're able to control who has access to CSInsights. Obviously, if it's something in regards to the billing, we may not want certain individuals to see the exact revenue of your practice. If you wanted it to be a little more high profile type of service, you absolutely can do that. Or you could have multiple people have access to CSInsights if it's multiple owners, if there's the billing specialist, as well as yourself as an owner or top therapist, whoever it is that you deem reasonable to have access to CSInsights, you can definitely give them that role. So as we're going to go over here is how CSInsights can help the health of your practice. You're able to track the costs with the automated data. Once again, when you enter something within ClinicSource in terms of the billing, that's something that's able to be tracked with CSInsights. You don't have to have no third-party website or anything like that. Everything is accurate based on what you put into ClinicSource. You're able to uncover the potential growth that you're able to have for your practice, whether it's week over week, month over month, year over year, however you like to look at those projections. That's something that you can uncover with CSInsights. You're able to compare between individual team members. So if you want to look at them from appointments basis, revenue basis, treatment basis, however you'd like to do it, that's how CSInsights can help you and maybe unlock some things with your individual team members. As well as understand the billing and revenue. That's something that I go over on a daily basis with individuals that are interested in adding billing with ClinicSource. So there's a lot of things to learn, and with CSInsights, it's able to simplify those options to see the revenue trend line with CSInsights, as well as having a tool like this can help you make informed decisions based off of the data that you're seeing. It makes everything accurate based on what you put into ClinicSource, and that's going to give you the ability to make certain business decisions. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. This is what we're going to have here with CSInsights. This is the CSInsights dashboard. I guess the first question would be, okay, if I add CSInsights, how do I get there? How do I see it? And it would be this bar graph here at the top. You go ahead and click on that bar graph, and that'll take you to the CSInsights dashboard. Obviously, you would need to have this as a service in order to have that bar graph show up on your ClinicSource account. And we'll go ahead and do it here. This is where Steven's going to help me along. I'm going to ask him some questions that you guys may have, as well as some questions that I may have. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at CSInsights here. Now, what you see here is a test clinic. It may not be, say, how yours look. You would have way more appointments than I do. So we're going to look at it from a test example type of view, as well as, like I said, there's 13 widgets here within ClinicSource. You could change the skin. There's 6 different color skins. So here's the default. Let's go to ocean. Let's look at evening, which evening might be my personal favorite. I like having that darker view. Makes it a little easier on the eyes than the bright screen poking at me. So let's go over some of the widgets. It's going to be appointment totals by week. You can see it here between Monday, Tuesdays, And what you see here is Steven. So I'm gonna bring you in here. What's the reason of the color difference here between like Monday? Like it's Monday, but there's 3 different colors. Is there a certain reason why?
Yeah, sure, Leo. So like the orange is depicting what was scheduled this week, and the blue is actually showing you in the same graph what was scheduled last week. So you're basically looking
Oh.
Monday over Monday, week over week. And then you have a daily average, which is represented with the green line.
Oh, okay, perfect. So thank you for that. That'll determine the color scale there between this graph here on the appointment totals per week, as well as you can look at it by per year. So if you want to see it from a monthly view, January through December, you can do that. And like Steven said, the color differentials were for week over week, but notice here on this one, it changes from year to over year, and then compared to the monthly average over time. And now how this is populated is determined on what you put into ClinicSource. So any type of appointment that you enter into your schedule, that's going to populate as an appointment. And then if we look over to the right, the top therapist by appointment volume, current week. So this is for this current week. You'll have the list of your therapist. So this will break it down by the per individual therapist, and then basically their percentages of those appointment totals, and it gives you the total number of appointments here at the top as well. So same thing, you can look at that from a weekly basis, a monthly basis, or a yearly basis. Oh man, this test clinic has me working hard here with the 46%. Let's go ahead and look at some, I should say as well, before I go into further, you could move these widgets around. So if this is more important to you than seeing the appointment by the week, you can go ahead and do that and switch it over. You could customize basically however you want this dashboard to look, depending what is relevant to you. So top therapists by build amount. So you'll see here, same thing, as you'll notice across all of these widgets, week, month, year. And then it has your individual therapist listed here with top therapist build amount current week, $400. Joe's got me tied here with the 50-50 rate. Now, Stephen, where does this number come from?
Sure. So what top therapist by build amount means is when you create your claims weekly or daily, however it may be, it's the build amount of your claims that goes out. So we can actually see by provider who is leading the way when it comes to billing certain procedure codes, or what we call here build amount weekly.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. And as you see here, when it's $400 and at 50%, it's kind of easy to do the math, knowing that it's $200. But for your practice, you're going to be at a greater scale than that. If you just hover over, you don't have to figure out the percentage of the math yourself. It'll actually give you that total amount. And same thing, month, year. The appointment stick rate. So this kind of goes back to the appointments here, as far as it gets broken down between the fulfilled, canceled, no-shows, or absent. You can look at that from a week or yearly basis. Now, what Stephen tells me is that, oh wait, this is top therapist by signed visits current week. So yeah, Stephen tells me that this is the naughty list, essentially, because you want all your visits to be signed, and any unsigned visits, as far as in this this skin color, will show up blue, and then signed will show up orange. So I have some work to do. I need to get that visit signed, as well as test doctor, and Joe Williams has one to sign as well. Total revenue trend line over time. So you could see, once again, it's broken down by the year 2023, 2022, and 2021. So based off of what you have entered into ClinicSource, you're able to see that revenue trend line. As you know, we're having a pretty good March here at the test clinic, and we look to carry that over to the rest of the year, and you could break it down by quarters as well. So Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So top therapists by revenue. So you can look at this once again from a week, monthly, year basis. You see the top therapists by revenue current week, and that gets broken down for you as well. And once again, you do not have to do the math based off of the percentages. You could just hover over the color, and that'll give you the total if you want to know what everybody's total is. Total billing trend line over time as well. So treatment charges, you could see that as you see the years here, month, quarter. You could go ahead and just hover over and it will give you those totals. Billing versus revenue in this current month. You could look at it from a yearly basis as well. So you see in orange, it's the billed amount, and in the blue, it's the collected amount. So you can see it based down on the weeks of the year for this month of March. Stephen, is there a certain reason why these numbers don't match between the billing and the collected?
Yeah, so typically the billed amount is the rate that the business is charging, and then the collected amount is the contracted rate that comes back as the EOB file or the ERAs that are posted in the ClinicSource.
Okay, that's good to know. So you're able to see those get broken down as well for this month. And then if you want to look at it from a year, you can look at it from the yearly perspective. For us here at the test clinic, we only have March entered, but for yourself, based off of your months, you would see them all listed across. Now this goes along with the signed versus unsigned visits as well. So this will be the total for the practice. You can see it for Monday, you can see it for Tuesday as well as Thursday. That's what we have entered in. And so once again, the orange is signed, the blue is unsigned. And if you wanted these to be next to each other, I could just move this widget up, move it up one more time, and then boom, now they're next to each other. And we can go ahead and work those, and makes it easy on the eyes. You don't have to scroll down and make sure that they, look the same, that they match, and you're able to take care of it from there. So top therapists by unsigned visits current week. So once again, I could pull this one up again and pull it with the unsigned visits. I need to get on it. And as you see here, unsigned versus signed. Top therapists by treatments. So as you see here, it gets broken down between the individual therapist, has it listed in what their color code is. You can look at it from a weekly, a monthly, or a yearly basis. Now, Stephen, what's the difference between, say, top treatments by the current week compared to the appointments for the current week?
That's a great question. So, I mean, appointments by the current week doesn't mean the patient came in. It's something on my schedule. It's an appointment. When it comes to treatments, top therapists by treatments means I might have a highly proficient provider within my business. Maybe they're billing out 97530 for OT as well as 97110. Like they're billing out multiple treatments in their session, therefore maximizing profitability for the business. So what this graph is showing you is what providers in your business are truly maximizing their billables in their treatment sessions.
That's great. That's great to have and understand. It's okay. So I understand here is under my name, I have the higher percentage of the appointment totals per week, but I have the lower percentage of the treatments. So that's good to understand, so that I could have that conversation with myself and getting those treatments, on board essentially. Now I look down here on the bottom and it says PRN user allowed visit burn rate. There's nothing in there, but if that's because we don't have any PRN users listed here in these graphs. But if we did, what would that look like, Stephen? Like what would that graph tell us?
That's a great question. So PRN user burn rate, PRNs are allotted a specific amount of visits for the specific ID in a month, and currently it's less than 24 visits. So if your business has a lot of PRN users, either assistants or clinical fellows, this graph is going to show you, how quickly they're meeting that 24 visit maximum cap, where you can then decide as a business owner, do I need to upgrade that to a full-time user, or do I just stop scheduling appointments for that particular user until the following month when they get a refresh of their count of visits?
Okay, that's good to know, so that I don't have to single-handedly count there for every single appointment throughout the month so far. I don't have to do that anymore, Stephen?
Not at all. You'll see it up front and center. Yep.
Perfect. So once again, you could, and even if you moved around some things, say if I took off this graph here, and I want to add them back, I could always just click down and click on whichever and insert it. So you could customize it to yourself and basically what you find accountable that you want to go ahead and track. Maybe you don't want certain graphs in here. That's completely understandable, and that's why we allowed it to be customizable in that way. Say one day that you change that thought and you just want to get back to however it came, you could always just hit reset layout so that you don't have to go back and click on each single widget essentially. And once again, you could go ahead and change it, the skins. If you have multi-locations, you go ahead and choose between the different locations, and that'll help you out to see everything in that way. I want to say thank you for everyone that did attend this. Stephen, thank you for answering my questions as well and looking it over. What's next? What do we do next? Leo, we want to know more. We want to see what it looks like for our practice. Your test clinic was great. It was nice to look at, but we want to see what it looks like for our practice. If you're eager to talk about it, you could get in contact with me there at luna@clinicsource.com. You could send me an email directly, or if you have a pen and paper with you right now, I'll go ahead and give you my direct line. And my direct line is 619-489-6186. Once again, that number is 619-489-6186. Definitely enjoyed the time here today, and I'll talk with all of you soon. Thank you.